Hi YouTube, I hope you're doing well. I'm okay. We might have interruptions. If we do, we'll work through it. Speaking of working through things, I was thinking about another person that I know their dilemma as far as having jealousy issues and stuff, in a marriage and everything. Everybody is individual, kind of like that too. Um and and the men in this world and the, I would say, um, spiritually disconnected women. I can't really speak for them because I'm not them. I can only speak for myself, like different actions that a man might make, how that would reflect on me and how I would act because of those things may not be like somebody else, but um, even if it were association with people that I'd rather not have association with in my marriage, if that line was crossed, it was crossed. There's nothing that can be done about it. And the hurt that goes along with that, I would not know what I'll give it some thought. But I'm just saying, I'm not coming from a man's perspective. I'm not coming from um, anybody else's perspective but my own, um, being a loving, nurturing woman. I, with that in mind, I can speak on those things within two other women that are like that. Other than that, men aren't always the same in those areas, and women are. Women are more protective over their family. They're more, they do have to have securities above and beyond typically what a man, especially in this world. This world is wicked like that, you know. And so for a woman like a man's wife or even like a husband, for these people to feel loving and intimate and beautiful to each other or handsome, whatever, it takes a lot of work. It takes extra work out on this planet. And without God in our hearts, that's just not going to work anyway. That's just my perspective, you know. And I don't know, I might talk a little more on that. Just with the love in my heart, giving you my insight and reaction of the whole thing. And it's even with men's desires are more upfront and quick with their visual things. A woman's desires are very deep, and even any, okay, like your neurons, there's different connections in your body that are connected to your mind, and like motherly instincts and some sexual areas are similar. Now, I can only speak from a woman's standpoint, and I don't know if there's any studies on this, if it's the same for men or women, but like that arousal in her breast for her child um, is a real thing to open up the glands, the milk glands, so that baby can nurse. And it's something in a woman that women can control if they're normal. If they're not normal, other things, bad things can happen in life that we all can imagine what that might be. Um, I don't know. I'm just talking out loud here, so excuse the hell out of me, no. Just kidding. That was for somebody in particular. Yeah, but yeah. I was just telling Doug, he was talking about like people knowing each other and things. And the thing is, if you have to work extremely hard to get to know somebody, how close are they to you actually if you don't know them? You know, that's I don't know, you shouldn't have to struggle and like being misconstrued or misunderstood. That shouldn't even be a thing with people if they have doubts and they say they have Christ's spirit within them, the Holy Ghost, then they don't have to turn there. They're already there, walking with that second by second. That's a every second thing. That's not a guessing game, you know. So I don't know. Just just chatting with you. Yeah. So let's put it this way. Um, Before I would take money from somebody I wouldn't want around my house for different reasons, I would go get a job cleaning toilets. Especially if I was a man and my woman was concerned and there was another woman involved in like borrowing money or something. Oh my God. Whoa. Yeah, there's sometimes, and this is just my opinion, but there's sometimes that we have to put separation even with family members when it comes to our spouse. They come number one, period. That's it. And whatever happens after that, man, is on you. Because that tenderness within a woman is a lot different than it is with a man, let me tell you. And the protection that she requires on this planet. And you can't just be like satanic, like just leave her alone and all that stuff, or belittle her for her true self like that, you know? You know? Takes extra work. Marriage is extra work, you know? This is just my opinion. If guys would take more time to even be in the same room with your wife. I not now once again I don't know everybody's circumstances and whatever, and I'm not telling you what to do, but if you took as much time to be closer to her than you do running away, it's just a thought. It's just a thought because I'm just speaking that from somebody that can hold my attention for 3 decades because when he doesn't take the time, I'm not there. And it's been a little better than usual, but hey, there's been so many lines that have been crossed that average man wouldn't think twice about it, wouldn't think it's a big deal at all. You know, it's a very big deal. It's you and your wife. And if that's for eternity, well, if you were marrying her only to know that you're going to heaven or whatever and you think there is no marriage or eternity or you might not you're afraid you're going to see the same face for the rest of your existence, well, then you shouldn't probably get married. you know You shouldn't create that marriage just to destroy it, because it does take that extra. And understanding what the woman is saying, even if you don't understand every word, what she's trying to convey to you is actual feelings. No matter how it might come out pretty funky, it might be mean, but if she's even doing anything, you're lucky. Anyway, I just thought I'd throw that in there in case there's a chance that somebody could repair something that they did because they didn't know any better. Because men are stronger in some ways and not as strong as others, and women will fall into the man's lower vibe if he's not coming up to her qualities that are gifts from God. So if they can't meet that happy medium with understanding, but when it comes to being alone, if that's what it takes or what it should have took or whatever, you lost brownie points, and you might have to really work hard to gain that trust back, because that's something, it's sacred. And even if a woman loves you, she is not going to harp on that. She'll probably swear at you first. She'll probably do stupid stuff before she lets you get to the really depth of it after that. She still has love. It's more surface love, but going diving deep, she tried that, and she was drowning, So I am just speaking what's on my mind. So men have to be stronger emotionally than a woman. They can't see their gender as the same thing, because it is not. And these are important things that we learn and teach on this planet. We're not the same. You can carry the same heart, but your mind and your body, your soul, you're still you. And if you're a woman, you are not a man, not even close. You can do like men do, and they can try and do like women do. But the rush of emotions and feelings and different things, instincts inside a woman, is not the same as a man. And contrary to popular belief, there are people that get married that intend eternity together at that meeting. It's not death till we part. That's just till spirits meet again. When you love somebody, you'll see your loved ones again. So there's parts of the scriptures that have been, for men's sake, really messed up, and the women have suffered for it. And to be straight up about it one more time, I have told people over and over, and the truth is going to come out. But the beginning of life, as the humans that are here now, the woman got raped and was shunned by everybody and left alone because of it. And the fact of the matter is, we're all still alone, but don't let somebody tell you you're a fallen if you never fell. you know? If it's impossible for your nature to be low, then that's not you. Even if you had a twin, then it would be the other one. and they're not like you. I couldn't describe another woman even if she was my twin, which I have a sister that looks almost identical except her eyes are green. Um, I'm serious. I'm a little taller, but we both look like our mothers, you know, quite a bit. Our mothers, yeah, our mother. Anyway, cheers, everybody. My half sister, Teresa. Terry the Terrible Witch. She is. My two little sisters will not admit it. My brother might, but yeah, the other ones are. You're too scared, sissies. You little sissies. Yeah, and they are too scared, and they love her too. I love her. She's just It's gonna be a long time till I see her after I die, even if she dies first. Let's just put it that way, you know. But yeah, I can give you all the relationship advice in the world from the viewpoint of a faithful, loyal, honest woman. And um, things that that type of woman will not do is hard to describe what another woman would or why. So it's the why actually. But you know, a decision is made like if this is your eternity, your dream, then I could say buyer beware, but we all have our desires that we hope our needs are met in the next life if it never had been here. That type of thing. And like me, I know I'm deserving of a family in the future. People that actually love one person that really loves me. Wouldn't that be novel? But if that's your other half, there should be a understanding. So the hell with that language of other half. That's not a half of nothing. Because if I'm a half of something, unless they were so separated that they have no understanding of the other, which I think is a lot of what's going on. Gee, God gave me these gifts and He gave him them gifts, and now we have to figure out how to coincide coming from two separate aspects, you know? But what happens if you don't have two separate aspects? What if you have somebody coming from a male perspective and a little somebody coming from that male perspective also? Now you have gender confusions and marriage problems like that. That's where the satanic force, if that's what we want to call it, I mean, calling good people Satan ain't cool, but if the shoe fits or whatever. If you want to borrow a pitchfork, I have one. No, go buy your own. They're expensive. Even did you know? Now, my Russian friends will know this, but there's even a special spade, a shovel for digging potatoes. Yeah, it's flat bars, 3 flat bars typically, about this wide and about, probably ½ inch. And they come down to a point and it gets you in there underneath the potatoes and you're able to separate the potatoes out of the dirt a lot easier. If you try and dig them by hand, you have to dig a great big hole. But with the potato spade, it takes a lot of the back breaking work out of it. Not enough, but a lot of it. I've shoveled and dug so much in my life that my legs will actually, if I do it now too much, I probably won't sleep for about 4 or 5 days in a row. But just because of that movement, the pressure that you have to put on the shovel is too much for my separated pelvis to bear. And I'll pay for it with nerve damage. So I have to be careful. So, and I'm sure there's a lot of people that have worked gardens that you know exactly where I'm coming from, you know. It hurts. Yeah, so does relationships. They hurt too. Yeah. Come here, I'll give you some pain. I just don't like being scared or intimidated or given the silent treatment. That sucks, especially like I'll call rape. It's like I was raped. I told people they didn't believe me, and the reason I thought they didn't believe me, no, they didn't care because when they were raped, they liked it. You know, that type of feeling is the things I've been through in my life. You know, oh, you had something bad happen to you. Oh, well, so did I. Okay, but that is the reason the human race is a mess like it is because, yeah, bloodlines were mixed that weren't supposed to, and that's the Holy Grail. That's the whole big secret of the Christ's blood, and who the Holy Spirit is of God. So, the truth's going to come out. It's all in language. It's not in Hebrew, but it's in language, and they'll find it if they're smart enough. Well, they might not find it because they're going to try and deceive right to the bitter end for whatever their reasons are, you know. And my middle granddaughter make a little video. It was a short, and it said about one of her sisters. Describe your sister in one sentence. And there was a little song, she's a devil, she's the devil. Hey, I know the feeling. And with my granddaughter that I think she's talking about, I do believe it's just a phase. It's not a very good one. It's a horrible age, but I do believe that's what's going on, you know. Just adolescence when you start making that separation from your parents or healthy people do, you know, to go out on their own. So, not too healthy if you do it in a marriage, but yeah, especially if you don't have an understanding of what that female is and you think that you're going to gain any ground by separating. That's, once again, just my personal opinion. I did move next door down the road a ways for a while, and my son was still here. He was an adult, but I did come back for his sake mainly, which was a little stupid looking hindsight. Um, Even worrying about him being in his 20s. Him and Doug got along just fine. What the hell you need me for? You know? 2 men and no baby, okay? I thought that was funny. That was a very dark joke. I didn't sleep good, so if I seem a little edgy, Yeah, it is. Because I've had this on my mind. Now, how am I going to try and talk to somebody that isn't female and explain what a female is if they're not going to actually take it to heart, especially the physiology of the woman and her hormones and reactions and different things that are different from men. Now they're being conditioned out of the woman to be more like a man, and that's what's happening on this planet. And God forbid, when you have no more womanhood around, you're going to have a problem, a great big problem. You'll have childlike minds, all of you, so just consider that, you know. Sometimes moms gotta be tough, they gotta sound tough, they gotta act tough, they gotta do a little more in that area. They get frantic, they'll get fucking radical with you to make their point because they expect you to know the depth of their heart. You seem so intelligent in every other way except for ego and sexuality. Those two really important things within a marriage, you know? Oops. Oh no. And then I heard, like maybe they'd make a separation to teach the woman that it isn't all about sex. She knew that before the first time she ever had sex. So that is not what's going on. So, just to make that clear, you know. She already knew that a long time ago, in other words. In my mind, a woman doesn't sleep with a man without considering it, wanting it to be forever. That's in my mind, ideally, you know. I'll give you a scenario. I don't like nobody touching my head, neither does Doug. And you could pet my head, and physically it would feel like a pat, and my body would say, okay, that was a pat, that wasn't, it didn't kill me or anything, it might even felt half good, but my brain and my heart is screaming, don't you touch me again, that type of feeling. That's that's a woman's body and her mind is connected in a more spiritual way, um, with her nurturing sense that the birth process and different things that women do, it gives you a whole nother outlook towards things that men want to grasp. And some do pretty well. But to get that entirely what's put in a little girl, aside from what's put in a little boy, is different because they're more serious right from the start. I'm just telling you the truth. So that's my perspective, you know? Once again, only going on what I know. That's me, you know? I can't speak about somebody else, I don't know. I can only speculate, But in general, this is how people react in life, in the world, whether they want to admit it or not, you know. In short, women have expectations that might seem outlandish, and it might be a guessing game to you. You might not even have a clue, but there are rules and laws and a whole list of stuff, of lines you don't cross. And she might even be graceful about it, not say nothing, but it's already a line that's crossed out on that list, you know, before things get severe, you know. You can reverse them all with understanding, every single one of them. Then if you can see her in that new light given from God, um, because if she's carrying the Christ Spirit, God's Spirit, the Holy Ghost is in her like that, she hears. She's just waiting for you. She already knows. You're not telling her anything. You're not schooling her. God does that from the inside out. That's even without the Christ Spirit. I am telling you that connection with women and God. His Spirit, their heart, that doesn't, it pumps the same way as a man's, but their mind and their soul and their body, the function is different within them in different ways. Huh. Just ask Doug, he'll tell you. I drive him totally crazy, and I give him no slack, none whatsoever. This isn't the time to be passive and baby the people we love. We need to be straight up with them, and the whys and the hows, even the hurt. You have to be vulnerable. Might not want to, and you might have been set up. If she was hurt right off the bat and fell in love with you anyway, you're in trouble the whole way through it. Yeah, you can reverse that too. Guarantee you can. So that's Grandma Barbie's advice for the day. This is real life. uh, our Russian friends asked for their 3-year-old daughter. She's learning English and she listens to me. She calls me Auntie Barb, and asked if I could recommend a book of poems for children. I said, absolutely, I sure can. Doug was thinking Dr. Seuss, and I said, no. When my kids were little, I met this woman that worked in a thrift shop and food pantry place. And I didn't know her name this morning, but I just got reminded. Tamara Williamson, I think, is her, and her son's name is Matthew. She wrote this book, and now I know she wrote more, but and her son illustrated. She's just a wonderful woman, and they're nice people. Called Gone Fishing. It's a book of poems for children, and after she wrote it and her son illustrated it, I read it to my kids, and I just fell in love with this book. So I bought it for my granddaughters last year, or not last year, just a few months ago. Um, and they like it, so maybe this little um, honeybee will enjoy that book, you know. And then I see she's got other ones, this woman I'm talking about, that she wrote more books now. children books, you know. Just that's cool. But yeah, that was such a cool book. I really enjoyed it. I don't know if my kids even remember it. They were so little. It was written in 88. Actually, I think it might have been published in 88. I think it was written before that. Or maybe it was distributed. I'd have to go look at the paperwork. It seems to me this was out in Cheyenne, Wyoming, and it seems to me that that was 1987. And I could probably look because that's when I was working at a Holiday Inn washing dishes at night for a while. Almost killed myself coming home at night in the cold, walking. That was horrible. But and then I came back to Minnesota and started working for the school district. Same one for a long time, different jobs. But anyway, so I'm thinking it was 87 when I read that book to my kids because I think Luke was 7. It might have even been 86. Yeah, so anyway, it's a long time ago, a while ago. But yeah, that date didn't seem right when Doug found the book online for our friends and said when it was published. It just didn't. I told him I thought 85 and he got on there. And he had said 88, but he never read it. How would he know? But yeah, they'll like that book. It's charming. And the illustrations are just really cool. Part cartoonish and just with the poems, it's just really nice. So nice to see that lady made I don't know if she's making a living off of her writing, but I see she's got like 4 or 5 other kids' books now since then. That's neat. I wrote one with my kids and stepdaughter. Um, it was I think we burnt it, but we made illustrations and everything. It actually was about Krabby Daddy vegetable and all the garden vegetables and how they all felt about it. We made a book. So I can't remember the name of it. I think I burnt it. That's how they were feeling, and that's what we did that day. Remember, I told you I would try to find things to do with the kids to keep them busy. Well, concerning their little hearts, and that did. And they were laughing like they'd make somebody was like a carrot or a cucumber or cob and corn, whatever. Each one of us was a vegetable in that garden. So yeah, my idea. To keep their minds off of what was going on and let them express their little feelings. And they did. They had fun. They ended up laughing. Yeah, let's see what else is going on. There was something. Well, I put how in, like, I think it was 2019, the NIH Health Organization, not that one, anyway, National Institute of Health, NIH, I believe, put out, like if you're eating bugs in your diet, that the parasites I was telling you about, I just gave you a documented proof about it, and you can go look it up. What I'm telling you is the truth. I wouldn't listen to anything that the World Economic Center had to say for advice, or people that think that the Noahide laws are a good thing, any of that. They already have several strikes against them, and I don't show mercy or have pity for them. No, no, I don't. Not at all. There's just some things when people's actual physical self is being harmed because of other people's actions. There's just certain places and things that it's just not right, you know, especially if you're a representation of another person and you're not doing it right. What is that person supposed to do or say? You know, if you get angry with them, yeah, they're probably going to be afraid of you. You could never resolve it, you know. Well, maybe you could. I have no clue. That might be a gift from God, a miracle, you know. But I still feel like if God wants me dead, then he can just kill me because I'm not playing the game. I know I'm good and I'm not going to back down on that. If I make mistakes, hey, I'm in this stupid flesh to help people, and I'm not going to lower my position and my virtues and value for anybody. So either rise to the occasion or sit at the little kids' table, you know, because it might be kind of dark, but that's where you'll be residing, you know, unless you're already residing there, you know. And that could be on the same helping level also. So it's a family affair. Actually, it was rape, but they could call it an affair if they want to, you know. I just know when it ends in murder, there's probably something really wrong with the whole thing, you know. That's the end gate, like with these creatures from the WHO and the rest of them, you know. Mass murder? Well, if they weren't human and they were like parasites, I could see where that would be worth exploring, you know. But I do believe there's going to be a lot of answered questions coming up this year, especially. And it's going to help alleviate a lot of our pain in the world. I don't know. Just thinking. I think I'll leave it here today. Stuff that's on my mind. All right, everybody. Have a really good night or day wherever you're at. Peace and love from Pine City, Minnesota, USA. Talk to you tomorrow.